Hello, everyone. It's a miracle that I'm sitting here talking at you right now, making this video. I've had every single roadblock, and I got about 20 minutes left of daylight here, so no pressure. But the show must go on, so I'm showing up for you guys to get this forecast video out for you on the 5 year, the 8 month. Thank you so much for those of you who are subscribed to this channel and follow my monthly content and have always been here and who are new. Hello, welcome new subscribers as well. Just thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to talk about the 8th global month. Oh, deep breath. I can do this. We are not going to have another mishap. I could go into it, but I'm sure none of you want to hear about it. So, here we go. First, I'd like to start off with saying that you all have a personal month and a personal year. And if you would like to have your own personal numerologist as well to explain it to you, go to the links in the description, specifically my one to Patreon. That will let you select a tier in which you can sign up for my monthly personal readings where I talk about this chapter of your life. So we're all going through the cycles 1 through 9 in the years and in the months. It gives us a very good clue as to how to move through these time periods and what to expect. So I highly recommend it, especially at this time of the year. Also, I apologize for having the 2022 forecast video out so late. I have scheduled it for next week, so stay tuned for that if you've been waiting on that. Let's just get right into the keywords here. I have for the number 8, authority, finances, the economy, public health, law, power, manifestation, and karma. These are all these are all words associated with the number 8. And in the 5 year, in the context of the 5 year that we're in right now, some keywords I wrote here are experience, quality of life, change in finances or economy, as well as disruption of power and interruption in general of like these finances, of commerce, etc. So if you've been following me up to this point, you know that we've had the same exact combination in March. And I was very curious to see what happened in March for good reason. And now I'm very curious to see what happens in December. And this is because of this theme of the interruption of power and the interruption of commerce and everything associated with that. And also, I just need to put a reminder in this video, as I always do, I'll never stop doing this, in the 5-8 combination, this is not a time to be risky, okay? This is not calculated risks are fine. What I mean is like speeding or rushing or doing something that's just not necessary that could potentially be dangerous, okay? Risks are just not the way to go this month. It's a very chaotic combination because here you have this infinity energy with the number 8 and 5. You have entropy, so it's just kind of like anything can happen. Also, we're digging deep, and that whatever you pull out of that bag could be a surprise. So let's try to avoid that. So just a quick warning on your end in case anything. But it's very exciting. Like, this is a very exciting time because it's the last chapter of our 5 year, our last chance as a whole to make some deep, lasting impact as a collective, and overall just making impactful change in the systems that are failing us. This is our chance. So this is why I'm very curious to see what happens this month. Anything that I think that happens this year or this month, it may not seem like it yet, but it is very much a changing of fate, very much a turn in the tide. It's a lot. Okay, so what has happened this year will continue for years to come. It may not be obvious yet, but I really do think that what has happened this year, if you were to ask a history buff, 100 years ago, they tell you this was the year where this very key detail happened and this very key detail happened. And we could honestly trace the course of events that happened to this event or year or what have you. And this brings me back to the karma aspect of the number 8. I do think that the world will experience the result of this action of its actions this month, whether that be immediate, whether that be, instant karma, or like what has happened leading up to now. So that's a wild card. I don't know what that will look like specifically. There's also Christmas this month, and I love Christmas because it's a celebration of the darkest time of the year. And if you have watched my videos on like my Christmas messages videos, you kind of know probably that I've mentioned that the reason why I love this time of year so much is because you get to make something out of nothing. And that's also what the number 8 is about. It is tapping into infinity. It's knowing that no matter what, there's always this infinite source of something. Maybe it's not money, but maybe it's energy or time or what have you. And when we are able to plug into that, we're able to accomplish amazing things, and we're able to actually create something either inspiring or beautiful, or most of all, fulfilling. And the 5 is always about the 5 senses as well. So this could translate to experiencing something in a physical way. You finally get to have a nice holiday or something, or you finally, whatever you've been working towards this year somehow manifests itself. You kind of like reap the benefits of past work that you've done or something like that. And also, I think Jupiter is doing something specific this month that is also related to that, to the idea of having manifested something from past work, something that you either is coming, or might even come out of the blue, like either that check comes or that phone call comes, or that new startup is finally come together. Whatever it is, this is kind of the month where that can happen. So as as bad as it is to take risks this month, it's also an exciting prospect that whatever hard work that we might have done up until now can finally come about in some way. And this is where I want to kind of transition into the advice part of this video. I typically take at least probably half of these videos just explaining some advice for you guys, which I think is much better than trying to make predictions and saying, "Oh, I think this is going to happen." So that's I like taking the time out to cover all bases that I can possibly think of that any of you might be going through. But some advice I have here is to not shy away from hard work this month. Yes, you've worked very hard up until now, but I think that you might find some instant karma if you just keep at it. Of course, don't burn yourself out, because the quality of your work will go down. If you push yourself, you might find suddenly that you have less time than you thought. I'm like ran home from work to film this video, so I should take my own advice, but also then hopefully, any of you who are waiting for this video can get it. And, that's some like instant karma for me, or some instant rather fulfillment for me, where I'm like, okay, I did the thing. I didn't put it off. I finally did it. It wasn't perfect. Who cares? The person received the message that they were meant to receive, and it was good. Okay, that's just a specific example. But like, when you hold off on something because it's just not the perfect time to do it, or like, maybe you are a little bit tired from work, or maybe you are a little bit tired from your lifestyle, or unfulfilled from your lifestyle, there's a possibility that there's something in the work. There's a gift in there somewhere. You just have to be open to it at this time. So don't shy away from hard work, and be sure to reward yourself afterwards if it's not the kind of work where you could possibly receive some kind of instant gratification. And this is how you manifest this month. I think it would open up a lot of doors for you to open up your to-do list, tackle that project, reward yourself with a glass of wine, whatever your treat is right after. This is the key to this month. It sounds stupid, but hopefully, you try it and you realize, oh, this is actually the right thing to do this month. The second piece of advice I have is to be resourceful with your time and money, okay? As I already said, don't push, allow, and embrace. That's kind of a mantra this month. Every second counts. You have more time than you think you do. Don't you know when you kind of like go to bed and you wake up at like early in the morning and you're like, "Oh no, I have exactly this much time to get rest." And like you stress yourself out and then you end up getting less less rest because of the fact that you're stressed about the amount of time, you know what I'm saying? Don't do that in like all aspects of your life. Just every second counts, and that those 2 hours is longer than you think. Don't worry. You will fall back to sleep. You will get the thing done. It's gonna be okay. I recommend changing the way you think about your physical resources or even how you handle them. So this could literally be money or your time. But what if it's a person? Like, what if it's your neighbor and you're not usually open to their prospects? But what if you said like yes to that for once because you realize that there's some value in the thing that you didn't think had value. Maybe you would like to spend some time with that person and connect and have the opportunity to talk about something, or maybe who knows, something good could come out of sleeping in and an extra few hours on Sunday morning instead of neurotically worrying about your passion project. Or I go into a lot of specifics in here, but it always feels strange because I don't actually know what's going on with you guys, which is also why I like to use the cards, because not it's just supplemental. It can get more specific and guide me in the right direction, but not everyone likes them, so I only do them sometimes. The next piece of advice I have is the world has been shaken, and you know this. I've been talking about it the whole year. Some of you are probably relieved that we're finally moving into a new year, so I can talk about something else. But a new year is coming. I have in question marks like, are you changed? Are you ready for healing? Is what you want the right thing? Is what you wanted the right thing? These are good questions to ask this month. Does it support your health? Open up to the possibility of a gift that gives you better health. Maybe health is your wealth. Maybe it's not the money. Maybe it's actually taking a sick day and not being scared about it, Or, I could go on. This is the gist of this month. Okay, so think manifestation. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas, this is the darkest. We got winter solstice up here. Okay, in the northern hemisphere. Use the power of that. Okay? In fact, that is original Christmas before the Roman Catholic Church took over. The celebration of the winter solstice was Christmas. And more than that, but the gist of it basically. So think what kind of abundance is available to you at this time that you just never thought had value. There's This is what it means to be resourceful, honestly, a lot of the time. And I have to say something as well that I don't know why, but I was driving home today and I felt like I needed to mention this in the video. And the analogy came to mind of, how when you're in traffic or like light traffic and there's only a certain speed that you can go, and the people in front of you, the mass of cars, is determining your speed, and you can do a few things when that happens. What I find most people do is they get frustrated with the car in front of them as if it's the only car in front of them. Whereas if you could zoom out of the car that you're in and look at it from an aerial view, you'd see, the reason why this is so slow right here is because people keep speeding up and slowing down because they gotta ride each car's ass the whole time, and it creates this weird wave of dysfunction that just is a domino effect down the thing. If I just like took a breath and accepted that, like, okay, this is, I guess, the fastest I can go because of the car in front of me. just choose a speed. And if everyone did that, there wouldn't be so much slowing down and speeding up. It would just be a steady, fast pace. And then there's some people on the road who recognize that. They are not angry at the car in front of them. And basically, what I'm getting at here is trying to transform this frustration at just what's right in front of you. I want you to look past this. Most people just can't get past that. They can't get out of the thing and look at it from the whole and have that be their day-to-day experience. It's very hard to do. Of course, you're human. Like, you're gonna get impatient. Like, that's gonna happen. You might have something extremely important to get to. I get it, okay, but like then it becomes every day that it's like that. And I think that this is just an analogy for something bigger. Okay, so the car in front of you could be some kind of perceived obstacle. Okay, so it could be literally anything. I want you to try to figure out what that could be in your life and understand that it's that's not your enemy. The person in front of you, maybe they do have a few car spaces in front of them, and that's because they can acknowledge that what's setting this speed in is the cars in front of them. What's happening around them is what's determining, how you are moving along with your progress, with your growth, with your evolution of your life, maybe even from a bigger perspective. And if you can only see your current situation, if you can only get caught up on the fact that, like, God, I hate the fact that every time I come to work, I have to deal with this stupid same thing. If that's like all that you're able to see, you're not going to be able to make strides in the ways that you can and that you want and have been trying to do this whole time. So you might be wondering, what the heck does that have to do with the number 8? I don't know. I just felt like that was necessary. That analogy was necessary to talk about right now. And I guess you could argue that, that was like a very physical kind of analogy or description, and the 8 is the number of this physical world, and it's very karmic, and with that comes a lot of everything that we have in this life. So it kind of does make sense. Sorry, it got dark there. My display went to sleep. I got like 5 minutes of light. I got like 5 minutes of light left, but yeah, just basically the take home message is don't take any unnecessary risks. This is an extremely powerful time of the year to make a lasting impact for the rest of this 9-year cycle that we are traveling through. Be sure to reward yourself from your hard work. Do not skirt responsibilities. Do not, don't be afraid of the hard work that it takes to get somewhere, and start reflecting on very important questions in order to get the most out of next year, which, as I said, is like, does what supports your health, or have you changed this year? If so, how, etc. These are questions I would like you to ask yourself. In fact, please feel free to leave in the comments the answers to your questions or any comments that you have. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I would talk more and make this video a little bit longer, but I've run out of light, and I really wanted to get this to you in somewhat of a timely manner. So I figured it's worth it. This is this is the nature of the 8 energy. Honestly, is just using what you have to make the most out of it. And I hope that you guys can find your own little pool, eternal pool of abundance in your hearts and in your minds during this time. If you're tired, I get it. Oh my God, me too. And take your time and know that it's okay. Don't only go 650 miles per hour if that's what the traffic allows. Okay, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fine. And if something does happen this month in a global sense, know that it was necessary for change. Know that it was necessary, as hard as it might be or scary as it might be. This is the natural progression of this cycle, and it needs to happen now or never. So hopefully we don't get shaken up too much. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're safe, you're healthy, and like I said, stay tuned for the 2022 forecast video that will be coming out soon. Please let me know if you have any questions. And I do have a service where I take very specific questions that may not pertain to everyone. That's like my new numerology service. So ask me about that or watch the video that I have on my channel about that. That is also a service that I have in case you have very specific questions regarding this time of the year or anything personal. And the sun has officially set, so I've got to cap it off here. Thank you all so very much. I'll see you all soon. Take care.